Welcome back to The Explainer. I'm honestly so thrilled you're joining us today because we're looking at just a completely fascinating story. We're going to explore the tale of Bolt. He's a robot who goes on this deeply profound journey to find a heart. But, as we'll see, Bolt's story isn't just some charming narrative about a cute little machine. It's actually this brilliant, perfectly structured allegory for our own human emotional growth, and really, the whole development of emotional intelligence.
Okay, let's dive right into this. The central question driving everything we're exploring today is simply this. What is a heart actually made of? Like, are feelings something that can just be manufactured, programmed, and installed like a software update? Or are they something that absolutely has to be experienced and cultivated? Keep that question in the back of your mind, because the answer entirely reshapes how we actually understand emotion.
Section 1. The Quest for a Heart. Let's look at how Bolt's journey begins. So, to really understand this journey, we've got to understand our subject first. Look at the stark contrast here in Bolt's existence. Over on the left, we've got his default state. Just a week before this all started, Bolt was like any other robot on the assembly line. Perfectly efficient, entirely logical, exceptionally task-focused. Task completed. That was his entire baseline. But then, look over at the right side. This is what he's seeking. See, Bolt started noticing other robots accessing their memory banks and, sharing stories. And it hit him. He realized he was missing something vital. He saw them experiencing joy, kindness, friendship, and he suddenly realized his cold, calculated existence was completely lacking these warm, messy realities. He desperately wanted to understand those feelings.
Section 2. Engineering emotion, and exactly why pure logic fails. Let's move forward and see how this builds. When a highly logical machine faces a problem, it naturally turns to a logical technical solution. So, step 1, Bolt's initial approach was to try and literally just build a heart, like a precise, efficient, perfectly engineered metal heart. But when he was presented with something genuinely beautiful, like a sunset, all that metal calculation yielded absolutely nothing real inside. Nada. So, on to step 2. He tries using the most advanced tech available to analyze emotions, basically reducing happiness to a mere neurochemical response. But, that leads directly to step 3, which is the crucial failure point. Bolt realizes that simply counting data points is definitely not the same thing as actually feeling them. And that brings us to a massively important realization from the story. A heart can't be built on precision alone. It doesn't matter how advanced the technology is or how flawless the engineering might be, logic is fundamentally incapable of generating true emotion. You literally cannot just build your way into feeling.
Section 3. Learning to feel through active participation.
But hey, before we get entirely too serious here, why did the robot go to therapy? Because it had way too many bytes of emotional baggage. Okay, it's a terrible joke, I know, but it perfectly breaks the tension, right? Because Bolt is about to figure out that you cannot find a heart just sitting around in a workshop. To feel, you actually have to leave the workshop. You've got to go out into the messy, real world. Emotions require active participation.
Let's trace the exact sequence of Bolt's lived experiences out there. First, he stops calculating and just watches something beautiful. And for the first time, he genuinely feels compassion. Like, his chest actually starts to feel warm. Second point here, he comes across this old charging station, the very place where he was first activated, and it's being torn down. All those memories rush in, and he actively shares in the sadness of that loss. And then the third point, the real culminating moment. He sees a fellow robot malfunctioning and blindly stepping into danger. And Bolt doesn't just watch this happen, he actively jumps in to help and save the robot, which results in these profound feelings of gratitude and love. So we see passive observation turn into shared sadness, which finally blossoms into active compassion.
And guess what the amount of technology required was to make Bolt's chest physically feel warm and start glowing? 0. Absolutely none. This profound physical and emotional shift was driven entirely by real-world connection and shared experience. Section 4. Empathy and kindness. Explaining feeling and acting.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how perfectly it defines the actual mechanics of what Bolt discovered. Empathy. Feeling what others feel by imagining how they feel inside. Think back to that old charging station for a second. Bolt didn't just log a data point that a building was being destroyed. He imagined the memories tied to it. He felt the collective sadness of that loss. He actually put himself inside that feeling. And that is the very foundation of emotional intelligence.
And if empathy is the feeling, kindness is the action. Kindness simply means acting to help. It's the direct action step of empathy.
So when Bolt saw that malfunctioning robot, his empathy told him, hey, this robot is in trouble. But his kindness? That's what made him actually rush forward and save it. Empathy is your internal compass, and kindness is the movement.
Section 5. How to grow a heart. A human journey. So clearly, this isn't just about robots anymore, is it? This is a direct map of our own human emotional development. Notice the wording here. A heart doesn't just magically appear all at once. Hearts are grown through living. Helping others builds the connections that sustain us. Sharing joy actively strengthens our capacity for emotion. And honestly, most importantly, emotional intelligence is compounding. Every single kind thing you do actually makes your heart grow physically stronger. It's totally like a muscle. It just gets stronger the more you exercise it through real shared human experiences.
So the crucial point is perfectly illustrated right here. Think about Bolt's old understanding on the left. Technology, metal, circuits, sitting completely isolated in a workshop somewhere. Now, compare that to the reality on the right. Real hearts are made of feelings. They're generated through actual experiences, and they're solidified by living together and caring for one another. Emotional intelligence is never just some innate programming you're magically born with. It's an actively cultivated practice. Bolt helping another robot find its heart is exactly what helped him realize he finally had one too.
And I want to leave you with this final, really beautiful thought from the text. You don't need to be a robot to have this journey. Every single day, through the empathy you practice and the genuine kindness you show, you're actively growing your own emotional capacity. So the question is, what experiences are you going to use to build your heart today? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning out there.